Have you ever wanted to step into a world with dragons, alliances, fighting, and high stakes? A world similar to the Game of Thrones? Your favorite tale in mythology? Where you're driven by your own personal goals and clan? Good. Then I want to talk to you about a LARP called Cantera. But before I can get into a tale about dragons, clans, magic, and friendship, I want to explain what LARPing is. LARP stands for Live Action Roleplay. Think of any RP game you know of. Now, think about what it would be like if that game were live action. If you were dressed as, acted like, and lived as your character. Are you getting it? Cool. Now there are plenty of resources around that can help you find a LARP closest to you. But basically, it's a bunch of really cool people getting together to tell a story, battle, and live out a fantasy. That is LARP. But Cantera is more than just a LARP. It's a blockbuster LARP. Okay, cool. So, what's a blockbuster LARP? A blockbuster LARP is a high-budget event. It caters to many people around the world. Literally, around the world. People fly in for this. It's awesome. It has a high production value and gains media attention. I mean, I'm literally making a video about this. And it's also high profile. These LARPs can have full-on food and lodging accommodations, so you don't have to worry about getting your own shelter and meals. These are the LARPs that cater to people who want to live out their wizard school fantasy in castles. See Be Spore 2019. Because they love Harry Potter. Or they want to live out their medieval, similar to, but is not, Game of Thrones style LARPs. AKA the LARP I'm sharing with you now. Hey guys, it's me, Piper, and I am here with Felbisproductions at Cantera.
We're the squad, and behind us is Pythian Castle? Pythian?
Yeah.
Behind us is a castle, and we are going to play a fantasy game called Contera!
So, what is Cantera? Cantera is the world in which the story takes place. You have different clans within the land of Cantera. The clans are Perret, Penistorum, Dracocide, Dryadalis, Oleneg, Tuatha, and now, the new clan of the Maubada. These clans were brought here at what's called the Summit of the Clans. Now, why have they been summoned? Well, there's been disturbances within the world of Cantera. An example of that is that one clan almost completely annihilated another. The Fae attacked the land of Perret, which was my clan. Yeah, and I played the role of High Priest of Perret, so guess whose character wasn't very happy about that? There were more disturbances besides just that, but it was a big one, especially for my own character's development. The purpose of the summit was to question each other, find answers, make alliances, and hopefully come together. And don't worry, we achieved that, somewhat. But we also had some poisonings, stabbings, people thrown in dungeons, and people getting threatened by gods, and some death threats, and some actual deaths, which was awesome, but don't worry, they're okay now. Cantera is a world for the people, and now the game itself. During the game, you have a chance to battle in the dungeons, work with FELBIS to create your character, and if you're new to LARP, don't worry, there's always someone to help you when it comes to the FELBIS team. You get to meet dragons, form alliances, lead your own path to achieve your goal, and fully explore your character. We also have the opportunity for side missions or quests. And I mentioned you're playing in a castle, right? Yeah, a whole castle, my friend. And there's a nice masquerade ball, some actual rituals, and did I mention that you're playing in a castle? I did? Good. And this is where I do the sit down portion of this video. Face to a voice. Hey, how's it going? Full transparency, I was invited as a special guest to this event by Felbisproductions. So just wanted to put that out there so that there's no like confusion of things. But yeah, this is my review. Feel free to skip through any part of this sit down, but it's going to be me talking about ticket prices, my overall experience as a player, and what I recommend, what do I think should change, that kind of stuff there. And I will be inserting some other clips from the game in this portion. So the thing I'm sure you're all worried about or curious about is ticket prices. Like, this is a blockbuster LARP, you're talking about like media attention, you were invited, so like, girl, how much is this event? If you go to ConteraLarp.com, at the very top there is a little button where you can press, it says tickets. If you click that with me, oh look, there are my friends. They're so cute. You can see the different ticket prices and what really goes into them. Oh, they updated it. Okay. Okay, it looks like they changed the prices. I actually like the change of price because it looks like the prices went down for the other ticket tiers. But originally, I believe it was the hero ticket was $600. That's the base ticket, very minimum base. And then you have the Lord, Lady, Laird ticket, and that was like, I think about $800. And then you had the High Ruler ticket. So like, you're like princess, priest, you rule the clan basically. And for that ticket, I think it was like $1,000. Yeah. So, oof. Sorry. It's a lot of money. But it looks like they changed that kind of high ticket price. It looks like the newest highest ticket price for Cantera is $850, which I love. I love that. Love, love, love. And it tells you here in the description, like, what's a hero, what's a laird, lady, or lord, and what's a high ruler, and like, what kind of goes into that. But for $600, that's your base ticket. You get a room, and you share it with, I think, more than one person. 3 to 4 people. So if you're like, not wanting to sleep in the bed with someone else that you don't know, or even if you do know them, you know, if you're touch adverse, then probably not the ticket for you. And then the upgrade A, it says room upgrade, which adds $125. You only share it with one other person. So I'm hoping that's like a 2-bed thing there. That's at least what I'm hoping. And then room upgrade B is your very own room for an extra $250, which equals out to the $850. Okay, I like that a lot better. Before, I think it was $1,000. It could have been less than $1,000. It could have been less than $1,000. Let's be real here. My memory of the ticket prices isn't that great because I remember looking at them, but it was high. So, but if you attended this LARP and you did pay, please tell me, is that a decrease? Because I think it is, and if so, it makes me very happy. Yeah, and also you can come down here if you scroll a little bit lower, give them your name, email, number, your address, and everything like that, so they can send you all of your things within your package. And I thought they did payment options, but I'm not seeing anything about those payment options on here, like installments basically on your ticket. I hope they still have that. I just wanted you guys to know like about the ticket prices and range, which those prices aren't unusual. I have seen and heard of other blockbuster LARPs being around that ticket price. Just depends on venue and accommodations and whatever else comes with your ticket. It really just depends. But yeah, I just wanted you to know, like, how much money you might spend on this event, because, like, we're broke out here. So now, my overall experience with this LARP, I had an incredible time. Straight up, great time. I loved this event. It was in the middle of winter, so there was some ice and sleet and snow, and the castle steps were kind of slick, so that was not fun. And I'm hoping maybe sometime they'll like steer clear of like the December through January through February months for this event, just because again, it was hard for some people flying in. It was snowing. It's in the middle of Missouri, so it's freezing cold. Climate change is a thing. It's gonna get colder and colder every year. So yeah, but you know, that's just a little bitty thing. It's not little bitty, but that's just another thing. I had a grantastic time. A grantastic time? Grantastic time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like left that game feeling so good about myself, good about the company, good about other players, just good, just really, really good and set. I felt like I received everything that I needed to receive from that game. And it is, I will say, their first blockbuster. I don't know if I mentioned that before. It's their first blockbuster LARP, but also I think it's their first LARP period as a company. So that actually really impressed me, especially because they had some problems with losing a venue and then finding another one so quick and still being able to turn it around and like make it such awesome experience for so many people. That big props. So I played the High Priestess of my clan. My character's name is Belladonna. I served under our princess, and my clan was the clan that made problems, because the reason we were there is because I did a thing. My character, not I, but my character did a thing.
Oleander? Do you understand what you're giving to me here today?
My lord.
Gonna gain immortality.
Immortality. Take it where?
Just take it!
Oleander?
Okay, done.
And oops. Also, I have to give it up to the GMs. So many of them were so kind and helpful. Some people did experience some bleed. Some people really, really experienced some bleed and got a lot of helpful help. A lot of helpful help for that. But no, they were very kind and welcoming. And also when it came to running the game as NPCs, our GM was just fantastic. So good job to him. Like legitimately, good job. He was one of the main reasons why I think our clan went over so smoothly, and why we had such a fantastic time. He was very much so like do what you want, ask for forgiveness later, and we'll see how it shakes up the storyline. So that was really great. On top of that, there were a lot of side missions, especially with my GM. He ran quite a few of them. But there were a lot of side missions that helped propel the overarching story, keep everyone on track, because you did have your own personal goals, and some of those goals were really heavy. I know mine was, but I liked that. I really liked how heavy mine was personally. Overarching, you know, story and then personal goals, as you should for such a large game with so many players. And again, their first LARP. You got it right, dude. Now, some cons would probably be that this was in winter and it was snowing at the event, so slippery stairs to the castle and cold and some sleet and rain and things like that. You can't really control Mother Nature, so I'm not like putting that on Felbis or anything. But it is a con because I fell on my butt down those stairs. And thankfully no one saw. At Pythian Castle for Felbis Cantera, we just did like Momo's intro shot and saw everything. We like ran around the castle and everything like that. I hope that you can hear me. It's very, very flippin' cold. Mother, I'm sorry. Actually bleep this out. I'm not gonna say it. It's flippin' cold. Oh, another con is that during the game, a tour came into the castle, and this is not at all Felbis's fault as I remember it, because they were under the, I believe they were under the impression that we had the castle. This is us. We're the ones who paid. We have the castle. But a tour came in and they were kind of rude and they were kind of taking some pics of people without their permission. I was one of them. So that was kind of a damper on things, but again, they tried to handle it as best they could. So I'm not really too upset about that on their part, but yeah, it wasn't very fun. So if you're wondering, I already said this before. I said the word castle like 80,000 times. Yes, you are playing in a castle, and yes, it is awesome. The dungeons were really nice. The dungeons were reserved for battle. And some rituals that some of us performed that ended up getting other people murdered. I guess another con for some players, but you didn't have to do this thing, so I'm really trying to think of some cons here, is that some of the side missions did go on a little late. I believe like we stopped at 3 a.m., went to bed at 5 a.m. because after we stopped we just kept talking about it. And so that's not good when you gotta get up at 8 to get to the shuttle and things like that. But yeah, the main thing I have to say about Cantera is that I had a lot of fun. And if you are looking for a medieval fantasy LARP, it was a good one. It was great, and then you make... Pretty much everyone was very kind, and it was easy to make friends with staff and the runners and other players. They made it very easy to connect with other people outside of game and also, you know, in game. So that was like, yes! But if I'm not immediately able to speak of a con and it's been so many months since I played, then couldn't have been that bad, right? I can think more heavily on the positives. Meeting my friends, meeting new friends, great character dynamics all over the place, fun missions, great goals, overarching story was fantastic, accommodations. Oh, another plus is like food accommodations. If you had different diet or other dietary concerns, they took care of that. That was very important, and that was something that they really focused on. Accessibility, they really tried to make it as open and fair as they could for other players with different needs, and that really, really made me happy. So overall, do I recommend Cantera as a game alone? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I had a fantastic time. That's the kind of thing I look for. I'm an observant person when it comes to other people and their feelings, and watching so many other people being taken care of constantly was like, I feel safe here. I felt safe there. And that's another thing, that's an important thing that I almost forgot to say. I felt safe there. And the thing about me and feeling safe at LARP is that I live in a state where I walk down the street and someone calls me the N-word. So yeah, it's kind of heavy, but that's the truth. And so I'm always worried when going to like cons, like conventions and LARPs, that like someone's gonna have something to say because of the color of my skin, or because of my size, because I am a plus-sized woman of color LARPer, thank you. And I always think that someone's gonna have something to say, just because so many people have something to say or have said something. Nope, for an entire weekend, out of game, of course not in-game, I didn't think about that in-game, but out of game, I didn't have to worry about the fact that I didn't look like everyone else. Ooh. You're not gonna cry, Piper. You're not gonna do that. I didn't have to worry about not looking like the other guests. I forgot that I didn't look like everyone else. That means a lot. I'm so hyper aware that I'm different, especially being in Missouri, and being like, oh, the LARP is also in Missouri. Oh, great. Awesome. So there's gonna be problems. Nope. Nope. No. You'd be surprised at how many times my ethnicity comes up as a joke at events. So, not one person, not one player, not one staff member. Nope. I was just a person. So, it means a lot. Would I recommend FELBIS as a company overall? I don't know yet. I recently went to another one of their events, their second event ever, and there were a lot more problems than at Cantera. So currently I don't know if I would recommend them. I think they have a lot of things to work on and to fix. So as a company overall, I'm like, I don't know. I love the runners and everything. I'm just like, you're gonna have to show me something better than the event I just went to a couple weeks ago. Just, again, transparency. I like being honest with you guys, and honesty is kind of my thing. I just morally wouldn't feel right being like, yeah, support this company if there are problems, and there are. So them as a company, I have to see more from them. I have to see better, much better from them than what we just experienced a couple weeks ago with their Wizard School LARP. That being said, Cantera itself, as a blockbuster LARP, was pretty great. But again, we just had another LARP with them, and I can't recommend them overall as a company at the moment. Again, I'm hoping that they get those kinks definitely worked out, because they did so well the first time. I think they need more time. I think a lot of it is time. They needed time. And yeah, and I hope that they can take all the good things and the negative things that have been said and do right. So yeah, but Cantera, A+. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had to say about Cantera, and that is pretty much my review of the event. I had a really awesome time and met really awesome people, and if you ever decide to go to like Cantera 2 or any other event, I hope that you too have an amazing time, and I hope that, you know, you keep in mind all the things I've said here, and yes, there will be a review also of their second LARP that they also gave me a ticket for. That one, is different. It is wizard school. It's not like a medieval fantasy LARP. I mean, it's fantasy, but it's... Anyways. But yeah, I had a fantastic time. So like all YouTubers say, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Definitely though, if you haven't LARPed before, definitely try LARP. You know, there's a LARP for everyone. Laser tag style LARPs, post-apocalyptic, freeform, all this other really cool thing, parlor LARPs. Like, there's so many things for everyone, and I think it's important to jump in if you can. And there are many resources to try to find a LARP near you, or start one, do a homebrew. But yeah, if I don't, and I probably will, put clips at the very end of this video, just know that I had a great time, and I hope that if you decide to partake in LARP, or this LARP in particular, that you have a fantastic time as well. We always need new faces in the world of LARP, and you and, you know, what you bring is very important. So, see you guys later. I'm gonna go eat. Bye. And that's the mother loving,